See, I love Enzo Maresca. Like, I really love Enzo Maresca. I think his brand of football is very good and a possessive or possession based type of football that is not very common with Chelsea, but is working actually, and I really want to give him props for trying to string together a little bit of good performances, results, especially after losing Levi Colwill to this before the beginning of the season, and he has lost Kopama to injury for the best part of the season. Darius Sugo is still injured. Um, Romeo Lavia is always on and off, and stuff like that. And then like managing a team that is the youngest team in Europe, youngest team in the Premier League. Like a team that has a lot of players that are inexperienced and stuff like that. I think for that reason, I like to give him credit. Like for coming in and doing what he's done. Last season, he finished in the top four, won two trophies, and this season he's still sitting second, 6 points behind us now. When you look at it, sometimes like seem as though we are too hard on Enzo Maresca because like with the season that Arsenal is having, everybody thinks maybe Arsenal are leading Chelsea by like 10 points or so. But when you look at the table, you understand the difference in points is just 6 points. Just that Arsenal have played Liverpool, they've played Manchester United, they've played Man City, and of course Chelsea on the other hand have played Man U, played Liverpool, and maybe Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, but Maresca is doing well. I think the only problem I have with him is his inability to like want to have a steady team, a team that can play together for some time and actually gel, understand each other, like create like sets of understanding on the field and actually like improve together. The constant changes, like last night Chelsea made like 10 changes or so from the team that played against Karabakh, and then it's like that. And another thing is when a player does well, you understand, you would expect that the next match he continues in order to build on that or maybe build that confidence, but then the player returns to the bench. That's the case of Willian Estavao. In the few times that this guy has played, he has really done well, really really done well. And every match when he plays well, he goes back to the bench. That reminds me of Modric when he was playing for Chelsea under Mauricio Pochettino. Whether he's playing well, he's starting on the bench. Whether he's not playing well, he's starting on the bench. It kills a player's confidence, especially when the person that you're competing with is not putting up numbers, is not doing anything spectacular, and then you get to sit on the bench and watch even after impressing. It's crazy. I think Maresca needs to like work on that. I think Estavao Williams should be starting games. Now, it's not rocket science that he has become the youngest South American ever, like to score in two consecutive Champions League games, um, on or below the age of 18. You understand? And if you look at the loads of talents that have come from that side, the likes of Lionel Messi, Gaucho, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo de Lima, Rivaldo, Kaká, all these guys. And for Estavao Williams to be the first 18 or under to score in two consecutive Champions League games, that tells you a lot about the guy's talent. And yesterday when he came on, like you could tell from the way he was linking up play, taking on players, like the guy understands the game. You understand? When a player is focusing on dribble, that's when he passes. When you are expecting a pass, he takes you on and stuff like that. He has magic. Something that, Pedro Neto is lacking. Like he has this work rating, which is good, but I think Chelsea need more than just that. Like when Esther Villan came in, like the likes of Joao Pedro, the likes of Garnacho started playing way better. Because when you have a player that attracts at least two or three players, it frees space on the other side of the pitch. And a lot of players are going to benefit from Willian Estavao. Even when he plays poorly on a day, other wingers are going to enjoy it because by the time he's attracting more players to come and mark him, he's freeing up space for other players to play. That's why it was easy when he made that dribble and then cut back into the box. Joao Pedro was free, and then Garnacho looked a different player in the second half when Willian Estavao came on. Before he was introduced, the game was looking as though Chelsea were going to maybe settle for a 1-0 win, or maybe like a 1-1 later on, because we've seen that happen. But when the guy entered, immediately he impacted the game, and it was at that point it was looking as though Chelsea were going to score even 4 or 5. You understand? So that's what good players do. I remember when Eden Hazard came to Chelsea, he was 21. Okay, maybe 21 is way older than 18 years, but he was starting at the time when under 21s we are not starting at Chelsea. But everybody saw the talent, and the guy was living up to it, so he had to start. Why can't we replicate the same thing for Willian Estavao? I think it's even, for me, I always don't understand why managers do what they do, because I feel starting a game is way easier than coming on as a second half substitute, especially when your team is chasing the game is difficult. If you are introduced as a player, most of the times you don't even get into the game until the game is finished. So why not start this guy, then he plays, and then you access him, and then you take him off, and then bring in somebody else? But Maresca likes to do his things his own way, and especially yesterday that Malo Gusto scored, it's like he's going to be starting for the longest, because that's what Maresca does. He feels Gusto is the guy for him. Like, he sees Gusto as a better right back than Rich James, and we can only sit here and feel bad. But that's Maresca for you. And the reason why sometimes we go hard on Enzo Maresca is because I've seen situations where Chelsea should be Arsenal's closest title rival this season. Imagine not throwing away points at Brentford and at home to Sunderland. Chelsea will be sitting how many points behind? 1 point behind Arsenal. But like games that against Sunderland, even yesterday, like bottom Wolves, we are causing us problems at home. Why are we not like there? So, but remains to be seen. Good thing is Arsenal are not breaking Chelsea's record anytime soon.